London welcomed 2019 with an impressive fireworks display. But for UK Prime Minister Theresa May, the new year means she has less than 2 weeks to get her Brexit deal through Parliament.
If Parliament backs the deal, Britain can turn a corner. The referendum in 2016 was divisive, but we all want the best for our country.
Few are happy with May's divorce terms. Brexiteers in her own party tried to unseat May in a no-confidence vote last month over what they say is a deal that keeps the UK and the EU too close. And the opposition wants a relationship that's closer than what May's draft proposes. British Foreign Secretary Jeremy Hunt used a speech at a lecture in Singapore to rally support for the deal, but with some caution.
We have to remember that a no-deal Brexit would cause disruption that could last some time. But even if you are someone who believes that Britain will flourish and prosper, whatever that disruption might be, that is not something that any government should willingly wish upon its people.
The Bank of England says border delays and a loss of confidence in financial markets will be costlier than the 2008 financial crisis. The UK economy is expected to shrink by as much as 8% versus its 4.1% contraction in 2009. Unemployment will reach 7.5%. That's lower than the peak of 8.1% in 2011 because the workforce is expected to shrink as people leave the country. And home prices will fall 30%, while the pound will lose 25% of its value. As a contingency measure, Brussels will allow British trucks into the EU and give UK financial firms temporary market access. The likes of France, Germany, and Spain are also planning for a no-deal outcome.
I want to send in the first place a message of calm to the Spaniards residing in the United Kingdom and also to the Britons living in Spain. Their rights will remain whatever the scenario. These measures will be implemented by a law which will be presented in the beginning of February at the latest.
Prime Minister May says the government wants to spend 2019 working on issues like healthcare and housing. But a loss in Parliament will mean she'll have to stay focused on Brexit and whatever follows. Paolo Montecillo, TRT World.
Well, let's get more on the story now from Rajneesh Narula, who joins us from London. He's an international business regulation professor at the University of Reading's Henley Business School. Happy New Year to you, Rajneesh, and welcome back to the program. Firstly, time is obviously ticking for Theresa May in order to win enough support ahead of this planned vote, which is due to take place on the week beginning the 14th of this month. Do you think she'll be able to win enough support?
I very much doubt it. I think people are going to vote against her even if they, as a kind of protest, just as much as in disagreement with her opinions.
Yes, and we also know that...
I would say there's a...
I'm sorry, continue. Go on.
I was going to say we know that she's deeply unpopular, and I think there's all the infighting going on in Parliament between the Labour and the Conservatives being Theresa May's party, and the fights within her party are the main problem here. It isn't actually the deal.
Interesting. And we also know that over the last month, both the UK and the European Union have been intensifying their plans for a no-deal scenario type of Brexit. I guess, is this the likely outcome in your view?
Yes, there is a fairly good chance that if this attempt to unseat Theresa May does happen, there will be a no deal. However, she's proven to be quite tough and quite obstinate. She refuses to budge. She doesn't seem to mind all the tomatoes and various rotting fruit being thrown at her, and she will sit it out. So I suspect that she won't resign, and she'll push for a third vote. That is to say, when she loses the one in January, towards the end of, just before, I think possibly just before the 29th of March, she will try and push through another vote.
The opposition leader, Jeremy Corbyn, has today reaffirmed his stance on the deal. He says he's still vowing to reject it because he wants the UK to return to the EU in order to renegotiate a better deal, in his words. Is that an actual plausible outcome?
I don't know what planet he's living on, but that's not going to happen. The EU has made it abundantly clear that this is the best deal they can offer. And him asking or telling Theresa May to go back to the EU smacks of ignorance or political maneuvering of some sort. They're not going to make a better offer to her or to him should he win. Remember, there's only 88 days left to this event. And my feeling is that what's going to happen here is that they will have to ask for an extension on Article 50. There is no way all of this will come to any kind of head in time. So I suspect they will have to ask for an extension.
Interesting. Let's see what happens. And as we say, we've got less than 2 weeks to go until that parliamentary vote. Rajneesh Narula, thank you again for your time.